The Denver Broncos' longest tenured player could be on the chopping block. So entering 2023, there is only one guy, player or staff, who is still a part of the Denver Broncos who is a part of their Super Bowl 50 squad, and that is Brandon McManus. McManus has been on the Broncos since 2014, and he has been our starting place kicker since 2015. Although McManus has been in Denver for a long time, reports are indicating that there is a possibility that his tenure could come to an end. Highly respected Broncos writer Woody Page of the Denver Gazette reported that McManus' job is not completely safe entering this season. The Broncos, under new special teams coordinator Ben Kotwica, are looking to completely retool that unit this season. They are already going to enter 2023 with a new starting long snapper in Mitchell Fraboni and a new punter in Riley Dixon, so there's a possibility that they could go with the trifecta and replace McManus as well. Last year was far from McManus' best in the orange and blue. He connected on just 78.8% of his field goal attempts, which was the third worst mark of his career, and he missed 2 extra points. That said though, a good chunk of Brandon McManus' misses last season could be attributed to having a rookie holder in Corliss Waitman. As much as Corliss Waitman struggled as the Broncos punter last season, I could argue he was even worse as a holder. I could count several of Brandon McManus' misses last season that could be attributed to a bad hold. That's why you can't just look at the stats, you actually have to look at the mechanics of the kick. There were several times where Corliss Waitman really struggled to get the snap down, and for half the season, he was also working with a rookie long snapper. So having a rookie long snapper and a rookie holder certainly is not going to bode well for someone like Brandon McManus. From an operations standpoint, the Broncos' field goal unit was completely out of whack. And on top of that, he was also asked to make some kind of impossible kicks. You think back to week 1 in Seattle when Hackett asked him to make that 64-yarder, and there were several other instances like that as well. Now granted, McManus did have a couple of poorly timed misses last year that were on him, so that made his season look overall worse than it was. But at the end of the day, you can't just look at the box score stats and say, oh, he missed this many kicks, therefore they must all be his fault. Again, if you actually go back and look at the tape, you can clearly see that a good chunk of McManus' misses were not on him, but they were actually on poor holds from Corliss Waitman. Now, as much as I want to go to the bat and defend Brandon McManus, there are some issues that are on him. Throughout his entire career, accuracy-wise, he has been somewhat shaky from 50-plus yards. He certainly has a big leg, but again, his issue is generally with getting the ball on target. He finished just 8 of 13 from 50-plus yards last season, but granted, a good chunk of those were from ridiculous distances. Now, in my opinion, there's a pretty clear reason why the Broncos explicitly chose Riley Dixon to be their punter this season. Not only will Riley Dixon give the Broncos an upgrade in the punting game, but he has also worked with Brandon McManus before as a holder, so you have to imagine that level of familiarity between the two went into that decision. Now, I don't think it would be wise for the Broncos to just up and move on from Brandon McManus. Although he has had some struggles, he has been a historically reliable kicker for us. In the NFL, it is super hard to find a reliable kicker. See teams like the Chargers. So if you have someone who brings stability to that position like Brandon McManus does, generally you don't want to let him go. That said though, if the Broncos could find a big leg in the draft or potentially as an undrafted free agent to compete with Brandon McManus, I don't believe they will hesitate to bring that guy in. Although the job certainly will be McManus's to lose entering training camp, I could see a rookie kicker coming in here and beating him. That is definitely something I would keep an eye on as we enter this draft season, Broncos country, is could the team upgrade from Brandon McManus at kicker? Alright, Broncos country, I'm curious, do you feel that the team would be wise to move on from Brandon McManus? And if so, why? Drop those comments down below, I would love to hear from you. Be sure to leave a like on this video as well as subscribe and ring the bell so these videos appear in your notification feed. And while you're at it guys, be sure to follow me on Twitter at Gage Madrid NFL for continuing Broncos coverage. And for now guys, this has been another episode of Denver Broncos Syndicate. I am your host Gage Madrid, saying peace out.